dangerous.
Bad feeling about this.
You don't seem to understand something.
The thing that I like most about being a dad is that I see that I'm about to impact the world. Yep. What's up? It's your boy Humble Dad back with another edition of Humble Dad Podcast. Got a great show for you this evening. How do I know? Because we typically do, and I said so. So I'm manifesting. You know, that's what the young folk be saying nowadays. They manifesting things into existence. However, we're going to be talking about, does your vote, is it impacted by faith or is it impacted by fear? And there was a question that was asked to me: is it possible to operate in sin as it relates to voting? And based upon what I see in the scriptures, I would say yes, because it tells us that He did not give us a spirit of fear, but a love, joy, and a sound mind. And so we should not be operating from the position of fear, but of, I would say, facts, and then also facts over feelings. So we're going to be talking about that. And in the questions that we're going to start with today, though, is what moral dilemma do you think splits people the most? Challenging question, because I had to think about myself. What is it that splits people the most? And we're going to start with somebody that's on time today. None other than...
Let me get my mic check.
Hey.
2 for 2. That's a moral issue that splits people. I say, since we on the topic of politics, I'll go with abortion.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We can't even say that word too often. So you got to make sure that you say you have to give a alternative word.
Oh yeah, sorry. The killing of a baby in a mom womb.
Can't use that.
Yeah, I can't use that either.
Yeah, because that
the unaliving of a fetus.
There you go. Yeah. All right, so that's what you're gonna say. Okay, cool. You want to elaborate, or that's it?
No, I think it speaks for itself.
All right, that's a bet. All right, then welcome to the stage. None other than...
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
That's what's up
for today. Yep. So the moral dilemma that I think splits most people is the alphabet community.
You think that split? I guess a small percentage.
I think they have a lot more influence though. So I feel like there's a lot of, I've heard people, I watched a video of a lady that thought it was terrible that a kid could get a tattoo. That it's not okay for a kid to get a tattoo, but it was okay for kids to get a change. And so, and it was an older woman. And so I feel like there's a lack of understanding of the permanency that happens when you change your sex.
Identity.
Mm-hmm. So, yep, that's my answer.
That's a bit. Hey, and welcome to the stage, none other than driving Miss Daisy herself.
Driving Miss Daisy. No, I'm driving Nicholas. My bad.
That was on something too. I can't remember.
Let me see what they done took. So I'm gonna go with social class. Just throwing it out there. Oh, look at law. Never mind. I'm supposed to be focused. I'm gonna say social class because the lack of education. Because I spoke on this earlier. If you caught some of my rant today, is that we're not educated enough to make a sound decision, and we just tied in. We do let sexual escapades of others and what they choose to do with their body affect how we feel about everybody else. But at the end of the day, you ain't looking at the long-term effect that it has for the children of the children. So don't, you know, if that makes any sense. Trying to give a little lost in translation, a little sprinkle.
That's
Not too much.
what. Okay, what's up, E40? All right, so I would say what comes to mind are a couple different things. Education was one, and then I would also say Christians not being sure of why they should vote or how they should vote. Like I think that's a dilemma among people of faith, because it seems as if you're supposed to. I remember the whole thing about separating church and state, right? It's as if you're supposed to not bring your faith into anything that is revolved around politics. However, your faith's supposed to be everywhere else. So I think that's a dilemma that's plagued us. Morality. What is morality? And it seems to be that few people want to operate in morality unless it benefits them. And then the other thing I would say is the gender war. That is a major dilemma right now because men feel one way and women feel another way. And there is no one really, I won't say no one, but there are very few people that are able to articulate why the coming together would be beneficial for the both of them. If more people talking out of the side of their necks than as opposed to how to actually resolve things. That's my take on it. So as we dive deeper, right, to get the party started, we're going to start with, let me see, let me find this video. It's a little long, okay? You haven't seen this one. Here we go. This is from Vivek. Have y'all heard of Vivek? He was going to run for president, but here you go. It's about 1 minute and 34 seconds, so bear with me.
I've never voted. And the reason why I've never voted is because I believe that the votes don't matter. Now, that might piss a lot of people off, but come on, dude, the president's not here right now. As a man who's trying to become more of a person who should be believing in voting, why should me or anybody else consider voting when the man who is in charge right now is publicly and personally not running this country?
I think it's the most important thing, and I think many Republicans miss this. The man is not really the president of the United States in any sense that our founding fathers envisioned.
So then why
right?
should I care about voting?
For most of my 20s, I didn't actually vote because I didn't see candidates who inspired me. So I'm coming from a place of understanding where you're coming from. I can tell you, sitting where I sit now, I still regret that, because as long as there's somebody who has a last best chance, and this is why I ran for president, somebody needs to come in and break that system. So it's not serving as a red colored cog or a blue colored cog in the same system, which is what you admittedly have from the professional politicians who repeatedly run. But what we need is somebody who isn't running as a red cog or a blue cog, but somebody who's bringing a baseball bat to break all the cogs. Basic reforms that we need in our government that say the people who we elect to run the government run the government. Get rid of a lot of the bureaucrats that are wielding these professional politicians like puppets. That puts more responsibility then on the elected representatives, because what happens when you have the bureaucrats that are running the show is the elected representatives don't need to actually assume that level of responsibility anymore, and it works out better for them. And so these things work together, where if you have a candidate who's actually going to step up and bring a baseball bat to break that system, I would say if you're disillusioned by the system, you still have an obligation to make sure that we burn that system to the ground and build a new one in its place.
All righty. Dwayne, I know you got something to say. What you got?
I like it. I didn't like when he ran for president, but I like what he just said.
Okay. All right.
Get out of Trump's way. Come on now.
Go with you.
Get out of Trump's way. He's got this. But yeah, no, I strongly agree with that, because that bat to the system, or to the cog in which you may mention, is that bull in the china shop, where we, in 2016, we got to see what that looks like, and we wanted it. America wanted it, because we were tired of the typical politician approach to things, you know. They say one thing, and then once they get in, it's a completely different ball game. That's what we were conditioned to, and then that numbing, that Novocaine started to wear off, and we really start to feel the pain that they don't care about us. Michael Jackson was right. Yeah. So then someone does pop on the scene and does give you the opportunity to vote. And, just like what he may mention, Trump was the first one I voted for, and I was around for the whole Obama situation and all that fun stuff, but didn't compel me as much as Trump did to go out and vote.
All right, who you got?
Ashley, I choose violence.
Why would you do that? I come in PC. I got the red, white, and the blue on to represent. I'm lying for real. I just want to wear my. I'm just lying, but I do choose violence. I agree with him because to me, and this is funny that you bring this up tonight. We were just talking about politics. Me and my dad downstairs. I feel like these people ain't nothing but panders. You want the vote, but you don't want to commit to what you said. And that's why I say I am very split on this debate, because it's a difference. What people don't understand, I'm very open-minded when it comes to stuff like this. It's the difference when the politician put it in front of you is bought and paid. It's the difference when you're not seeing that. And what people don't understand, for me, about, we're just going to speak between Miss Harrison and Trump, is that Trump, you can't buy him because he'd already done had money, blue money. You got different people coming in that ain't never had the level of money that he have. Because my thing is like, for me, I need to see you. Like, what can you do on the back end to secure things? And that's where the lines get blurred, because I'm not trying to go too deep and go on a rant. I'm trying to sum it up. But that's what I do agree with him. We need somebody that ain't scared. Trump wasn't scared. Trump ain't scared because everybody mad and call him a racist. Okay, and I'm still here. What are you gonna do? Like, what you gonna do? You gonna get me out now because I appeal to this level of education. Like I said, the level of education does have a factor. Jamie, go ahead and take it over.
I'm going to keep this part simple because it's a video, because we got questions and stuff. But I agree with both Dwayne and Ash. And I want to boycott the election. Like, that's all I'm going to say every time I get on here. Boycott the election. That's it. Everybody don't go. Black, white, Asian, Jamaican, I don't care. Belizean, if you have the legal right to vote, don't show up. But okay. But if you do show up, don't vote for her. And that's all I got to say.
That's interesting. You said don't vote, but for sure don't vote for her. That's what you said, right? Interesting. I would say that the reason why I played the clip is because the guy, first of all, said that my vote doesn't matter. And I didn't even know that Vivek was on there. I was just looking up things that said my vote doesn't matter. And I just started looking at the clips on and seeing what people are saying. And so the guy that said my vote doesn't matter, he has millions of followers, millions of subscribers. He's a follower of Christ as well. So that's what made me even more compelled to listen to see what he would say. And then Vivek's on there providing him his insight. And then he says, I used to think the exact same way you did. And I have voted in every election that I have been eligible to vote for since 96, right? And I always thought that I was just voting to vote until I understood the Electoral College. I understood the position of that. I guess I understood more as I started listening to my late wife, Jen, who was big into politics, and I started researching more, like I told y'all last week. And I began to see how the system worked, right? And then I started researching during the time I was writing my dissertation, and I saw the transition for myself, how Black people were at a place of being Republicans or conservatives, right? And then the transition happened to where Lyndon B. Johnson said what he said about he gonna have these niggas voting for 200 years, Democrat. And then we come to a point where my faith is coming to the point of the same-sex marriage situation. And this is when Obama's coming on the scene. So this was the transition that I'm having. And so then after the election previously, what was it, with Biden and Trump, and I went to go, I heard Ruslan. If you don't know who Ruslan is, he's a Christian podcaster. I've had him on early on. He had like 30,000 subscribers when I interviewed him. But anyway, he said, with the whole unaliving children in the mother's womb was founded by or given the right by Republicans. That threw me. Right. And then I was like, okay, these are the same people, just a two-headed coin of the same, it's a two-headed coin basically. And that's what made me pause to even want to vote at all, until I started again reading and saying, you know what, it is important for us to exercise intelligence when we are displaying these things. And I also think that for me as a Christian, it's biblical. I mean, Jesus was going up against politicians all day. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why. And then I saw that Trump was way different than the Republicans that I thought, because I don't know if we're gonna get there, but it's a shorter panel today. I'll say it like this: being in education and being a byproduct of when Bush was in office and he had the No Child Left Behind, he was a Republican. Right. And then Prototype said what he said last week made me think and remember about the Florida election. Right. It was a big confusion about who won. Right. And so, but nevertheless, I was able to now see that Trump, like Law said, like Trump is the bat, to the system, because they do not want him to be in office. So much so that all of media is against him. That don't even make sense. Okay, so that's where I would say it makes sense to destroy the system, because if you read the Constitution, what's going on now is not what they was trying to come. Right. So as we go into the topic, I want to talk about, how do you think people decide to vote? Because I was talking to a young lady today, and the guy that was next to me, one of us said to her, I don't think women really vote for family. Right. I don't think that women really vote for family. She's like, no, I disagree. And then we got into the whole conversation about how women's reproductive rights. And so it led me to reading this information about how people vote. But I'm interested, y'all are welcome to research, but I want to know what you think. How do you think people decide to vote, Miss Jamie?
Emotion. So if you can tap into a trigger point for a demographic of people, then you can win their vote. If you can make them feel comfortable in their emotions, then you can vote. So why don't people want Trump? Because he's racist and he doesn't like black people. And we're going to go back to racism. We might be able to go. I seen a meme that said, let me go eat at a restaurant before the signs come out saying whites only. I'm sorry. I mean, like, I laughed, but it was like, oh, okay. All right. So it's the fear. They're tapping into people's fear, which is a strong emotion. And once you're able to tap into that fear right there, and then make somebody look like the big bad wolf, even if the big bad wolf is saying, hey, I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be doing that, you'll never hear those things. Because my biggest fear is being put into this position that I've seen on televised people sitting at counters and getting spit on by white folks, or being hung, or these type of things. And so they tapped into that psyche. So emotion, fear, definitely. Let's go with, like, Ash, I want to pick you because I know you don't like to be last, but then I don't know. Okay,
All right. All right. I don't know why he want to be a gentleman all of a sudden. But anyway, whatever. Baby, when Harris get in there, y'all gentlemen will surely be last, okay? But
Oh,
I told y'all
Let me get my wrong rally.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I come in peace, red, white, and blue. I'm so serious. See,
good stuff.
but what I think, I think they do play with the fear, because if I can get you scared enough, you're not gonna lean towards it. And then Black folks also, it's the first time we're actually getting to see in our day somebody that look like us that's up there rallying for us. Allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly because I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. Not gonna lie to it. I haven't paid any interest or feigned any interest in the panderism, because it's just a S show smeared all across TV. Because when you look at it, everybody's saying I'm not, but if you go back and look at what they have done in the past, everybody say let the past go, but I'm just saying, if you see what they done in the past, you know what they doing. But anyway, that we're not talking about that. Yes, it's their fear and the lack of knowledge and the failure of just doing basic research. And also you're letting social media, being if it's on TV or your phone, whichever one you want to pick up, and radio, control your mind, as in to just take 5 seconds, just do a little research. Ain't nobody said if you can't say the words, please click on it, highlight it. The phone or tablet will pronounce the words for you. Hey, I'm just trying to help you out, because that can go a long way. Not shooting any shots, but the bird is down. Go ahead, Dwayne.
Dang.
Oh man, well done. I believe people vote or decide to vote based off of their interests, which I believe in their interests encapsulate what y'all were saying. Whether your interest is for whatever the candidate is talking about that piques your interest, or whatever the society tells you is the decision to make. So going off of that fear piece of it, there's two experiments. There's the Milgram experiment, which goes to what HD was talking about, as for having people be able to push you or sway your opinions. So the Milgram is based off of being told or given instructions by the authority in which way to go. Then there's the Asch experiment. The Asch experiment was based off of conformity, where you will give up your desires and adopt the desires of the group in order to conform, in order to fit in, and in order not to stand out. So with those, as for people voting their best interest, and I think one of the interesting things I saw with Trump supporters back in 2016 versus in 2020, a lot of people were closet Trump supporter whenever it came to the voting booth, right? They liked him, what he was saying. They liked his policy. They weren't just going off the feelings or the emotions and stuff. But they knew if they said that they supported Trump, they would be called and labeled all these other things, and they didn't want that. They didn't want that smoke. So they're more closet. Now it got to a point where there's more people that are coming out, and especially Black folks that are coming out on the Trump train. And with that brings up that to me, that tells me that what Lost in Translation said about the old guard, the control on the old guard, and what you said, HD, about the media is losing its influence. So people now have the courage to have their own opinions about things and are able to now articulate that in the public square, which is important.
That's what's up. What came to mind was tradition. People vote based on tradition. This is what I know. This is what I grew up thinking. This is what my mom did. This is what my dad did. This is the church I go to. I'm Black. I'm white. I think people vote based on tradition, which would lean to the position of the ignorance of people, right? As Lost put in the chat, and ignorance means that you don't know. And what it is that I believe that most people don't know, like, for example, people didn't know the decision of Roe v. Wade and that where it was from the Supreme Court level. Then also people don't even understand that Trump is not necessarily for or against abortion. I guess he did come out specifically and say for incest and the health of the mother, and I think there was something else. I'm sure I'm missing it, and so, and then not only that the Supreme Court, where it is now, it's handed over to the states. When people are saying, well, Democrats are saying he's trying to abolish it. I was just looking at a video, and I think another lady said this too. I can't think of her name because she went in on what was it? The Friendship West pastor. My wife just started listening. I can't remember her name, but she was just talking about there's no way that Kamala could do anything to overturn what's already been done. Like there's nothing that she could do. However, she's running on something she can't do at all. It would have to take an act of God, really, for there to be an overturn, right? So there's the ignorance of that. Then you have the position of the economy. Like you realize that what's going on is a result of something Kamala had something to do. Maybe people may not know that, but she's currently in office. And to say that she had nothing to do, well, if you was listening to Joe Biden literally said that everything and every decision that he was made, she was right there along with him, right? And then she comes along and say, well, we want a new regime. Well, why? So that means that you feel like something was wrong. But then when you're asked what was wrong, you say, well, we still got things to do and we just working on the things we got to do. It's like, how is it that your ignorance can allow you, based on tradition, can allow you to see like what's really going on? Trump was even willing to say, you know what, I just didn't do it right the first time. Like I missed it. You know, I went with people that I thought that I could trust. Come to find out I couldn't trust these people. And I'm doing things a whole lot different this time. Right. So he's even willing to say what he didn't do well. And he did a pretty decent job with not having any type of political experience at all. Right. So I think that the ignorance is strong with specifically with Black Americans, because like this one person said, it's in the chat. Let me see if I can find it. The question was, what has Trump done for Black people? Anybody want to chime in?
Oh
He
man.
gave us checks, the stimulus. He stimulated us, made
Oh
sure we had
man.
vacations during the pandemic. He made sure we had the checks rolling. But let me tell you something. I don't give a dang about them checks, because you know why? I was considered an essential working and I had children. Oh my bad. I can't cry. My bad, because we went on vacation too. My bad.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Oh, that's good.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. On a serious note, what I think he did was that he gave us a new way to look at politicians that were not bought. You see, and that's why I was saying earlier, and I was on the phone with my best friend when I said earlier, I said what America is really not ready for is for a politician that's not been bought and sold like a 304, keep it clean, and when the puppet is not being mastered by the puppeteer, we have a problem with that, because it's like the person like Trump is operating on their own authority, but don't realize that it has channels to go through, just like you got to go through your supervisor and district manager and all this other type of stuff before you even get to the president level. That's what people don't understand. And to go back and circle back to what you said about Miss Harris or whatever, you're absolutely correct. I agree with that statement. I approve that message, because this is what I told my best friend earlier. I said, how can we really follow this woman when she knows everything that goes on with these bills, all this stuff been slid in? You mean tell me you just sitting there, yes, master, we're going to take this and we're going to roll it out? You can't do that. There's no possible way. That's why I say I'm conflicted. And I told my other best friend I probably sit this one out, because it's like, I think we need a break. You know how you take a break from dating? I think we need to take a break from these presidents. Give them a rest. Give them some proper education. Don't they have training for that? Never mind. Dwayne, go ahead and say what you got to say.
Hey, before you go, Dwayne, I want to know, Ash, what is the confliction? Because the reason why I ask is because you can see that one person did something well when he was in office. Like I can understand before Trump got in, where there will be a confliction between him and Biden, but you literally saw this person do a good job of running all the routes that he said he was going to do, and then you see another person can't stick to the schedule at all and always late to stop.
She is sticking to the schedule, man. The schedule is what y'all always talking about. A woman need to do that. She need to know her place and be quiet.
No,
back.
She flip flopped though. Is what I'm saying. Like so, she flip flopped on what it is that she said she was gonna do.
She's been an American a politician, baby. They've been flip flopping for years. Didn't you say we're going through what is it? The generational pass down. You're Democrat till I tell you ain't Democrat. Because let me tell you, before my late papa died, he said because Obama was finna go back in office. He said, you know who you voting for, right? I said, what if I want to vote? I don't know who I'm voting for. You well, you ain't got a choice. You're voting for Obama. I'm like, Papa, when I get in there, you heard what I said. Sir, what you gonna ban me from the fair? You're not gonna cook my ribs or something, you know? That's what I'm saying. It's like you said, voting is just passed down. You do as you're told. But you know, my conflict is, hey, I really want Trump back in there. That thing gonna cause something ugly, you know, because we were just joking, saying it was gonna be Armageddon. We got the, clean out academy. You know. What's that when they start raging against each other? What's that movie? Dang, what is that movie? The Pledge. We gotta go get some Pledge shirts.
Okay, so your I guess dichotomy is that okay, my family believes that Democrats are the way to go. However, I see that Trump is a solid choice, but I also can't rock with I know Kamala's not right. However, voting for Trump caused me conflict even within my own family. Is that...
Yeah, it's something like that. It's like man, I do that because like I said, I would love to see a black woman in power, but my thing is the power is going to be up on you. Are you really going to use it for good or evil? We could put it like that and just put a little bow on it. Because as a woman, okay, that drives the bus out here with the public, they get, SA'd a lot, not physically touched, but verbally, because guys like to take too far, want to do the little slide comments. Are you telling me I got to have this man, baby, even though I didn't tell him to come here? That's where the conflict lies, because I have girls. And that's why I went on the show last week, because I was too busy fussing and cussing at my oldest. Like, you can't be in certain places at night. You can't be out here in the dark because you don't know who's watching who. And you telling me if something happened to her, she got to live with that consequence, and then I got to raise. No, we're going to chop that little mug at the fire station, telling people, hey, y'all need to do something about this. This don't belong to us. I don't know what y'all need to do with this, because I can't, as a mother, would let my child go through with that, because that's something hard. This was a traumatic experience, and I have to keep living it and living it and living it. And then I have to find a Christian value to say to forgive. How can I forgive when I'm study looking at my mistakes? That's where you got the baby mama from. Because you study looking at your mistake, grow up, and you're trying to love something through that. And that's hard to do. Some people ain't ready for that. I'm childish, as y'all can see. I'm barely ready to do that. But I do it every day because that's part of me, because I wanted my children. I just, hey, didn't want this outcome. But anyway, then what we talking about? We talking about politics and their crooked ways. But, I'm just saying, that's just how I feel about it. I just feel like as a woman with women coming up behind me, I have to make sure I got my eyes open and not just run around here wide shut, blinking and trying to be cute. You know what I'm saying? Because just because I see something don't mean another woman is not looking at it in a different light, because we all can be looking at the same picture but not getting the same view. I'm sure, I can go in front. I can see the full detail. How my dad may be a little, taller than me. He may be getting the top half but not the bottom half.
What's up, Dwayne? What you got?
Man, to her question about what has Trump done for the black community specifically?
Yeah.
That's what she asked? Okay. One, the First Step Act.
I was just about to say that.
It's all right. You'll get to opine on it. I'm just going through this list. 2, opportunity zones. 3, HBCU funding. And if I'm not forgive me on acronyms. I work in IT. We got acronyms for everything.
And education. Historically black colleges.
Oh, historically black. Man, why would a racist do that? Boy, I tell you, I don't know, man. I gotta tell you, he gotta go back to the racist schooling because he's failing right now. Okay. So where we had Kamala Harris say she won't do anything specifically for black folks, Trump actually did, and he did multiple things. So there's
why do you okay, go ahead, finish that thought, because
ask you.
Why do you think that, like, we have people in the comment section, why do you think people would say, and this was to you too, Jamie, why do you think people are saying or believing that Trump has done nothing for black people? When if you Google, I don't know if you should Google, I don't know, because Google is definitely against Trump, right? Because Google is paying Kamala, right, into her pocket, and so is George Soros, and so a lot of elitists, and you can go see, like, I'm not just saying this, right? I went to go check it out and who are her donors, and those that are paying attention in the chat, go Google who George Soros is, and he has a son that's just very similar to him as well, and the things that he's known for doing. Why do you think that people would say that Trump has not done anything for black people?
I'll jump in on this one.
Yeah.
Because they have been told. So, from a biblical standpoint, Jesus was walking around doing all these miracles, right? And then he was quoting his sources, or his source. He was saying, hey, I'm doing these things because of my Father in heaven. My Father in heaven. So he was telling them where he's getting his power from. But then the Pharisees, they would come and they say, no. You're doing these things, and they would attribute it to another source. So then Jesus had a conversation with his disciples, and he asked them, he was like, hey, who do they say that I am? And they went through and they told him who they thought he was, or what the other people thought he was. And then Jesus flipped the question and asked his disciples, who do you say that I am? And then he was like, you're the Christ. And Jesus said to him, it's not you or yourself who reveal that to you, but your Father in heaven. The reason why I go through that is because I think we are in a biblical time right now where people are getting their information about someone from someone else. And I know it sounds simple, right? You got firsthand experience, secondhand, third hand, fourth hand, fifth hand, all that. But people are getting their information about somebody from somewhere else, and then believing that they know that person based upon the third hand information or fourth hand information that they got. So whenever the media is going over here and telling you that this dude is Hitler, all your mind needs to know is who Hitler is. You don't need to know anything about that other person. All it's saying is this person is like this person. And if you are shallow-minded, and if you don't care about doing your own research, that's what you're going to take it as. And you're going to say this person's Hitler. So I found it interesting that the last couple of days leading up to the election, that's what I heard Kamala Harris's campaign about Trump as Hitler, and how his rally looked like a Hitler rally. It's not about the topic no more. So whenever you have the media telling people this is who this person is, it's a form of dehumanization. And they remove his human aspect. And all you care, all the shallow-minded people care about is, oh, that person's bad. They told me he is bad. So therefore he is bad. And they're telling me that this person is good. Therefore this person's good. I want to conform and go with what they tell me is good. I don't want to associate with this over here. So they could sit there and call Donald Trump dog shit all day long, right? And all people know is, I don't like dog shit. I get it on the bottom of my shoe, man. The people that walk their dog and the dog leave they don't pick it up. It's all they know is the bad. So that's if the media paints him as bad, Orange Man bad. That's what it is.
Gotcha, Jamie. What's your thoughts on it? Why do you believe that people say that Trump has not done anything for Black people, as opposed to saying they believe that Biden has, or Kamala will?
What Dwayne said, when he explained the Sadducees and Pharisees part, though, it has to be people of power with some type of power that says the statement. So, and that has power over the little people. So they have to have a little bit of fear in there, because if they know if they go against what these people are saying, there's a consequence for that action. So even if the little people in their hearts go, it doesn't seem like he's that bad, but it's my boss that's saying it, or it's my mom that's saying it, or it's my cousin or my auntie or somebody with influence around me that's saying it. So because I don't want to cause any conflict, I'm going to just go with it, even though in my heart, I don't really see what they're seeing. So there's got to be a level of influence along with the infiltration of what's being said. So the narrative can be bad, but to me, if you want to be honest, it sounds like Trump getting treated like a nigga. You gotta think, you know what I'm saying? It sounds like he getting treated just like that. When let's be real, during Jim Crow, the propaganda was that Black people were scary and awful. They even drew pictures of us looking like vampires and biting a white woman, holding her and biting her. And that was a propaganda that was put out. That was the narrative, that we were savages, that we were not human, that we did not know how to act or treat people right. They would show us eating, rolling in dirt and eating like pigs, right? And so when you get that narrative over and over and over again, that's where you get the term, oh, you're really different, Black person. You're a good nigga, right? You know, like I don't feel threatened by you, right? Because the narrative that has been pushed in the media all the time is that we are unruly. We don't know how to act right. And so what I loved about the ambushing of the White House was it showed who the true savages were, because that was savage. It also let you know that the White House, being called the White House, really means it's their house. Right? They went up in their house and they tore it up and wish somebody said something, because it's their house. That's White House. That's Master House over there. But it just sounds like to me, people are mad at Trump. But if you look at how he's being treated, he's getting treated just like any Black person, even if they have a good name. When it's a kid or when it's a shooting, they pick the worst picture of somebody to put on there. They don't pick the picture of the college student, you know, them being graduated or something. It always has to make us look like we are trash or that we don't have it together, right? And so Trump right now is being treated the way that we have always been treated in the media. And so if I was going to pick a candidate, I'm going to pick one that I could relate to. He's getting slandered just the same way that we got slandered.
That's a very good point.
She mean continue. She messed up there at the last point. She mean continue to get slandered because we don't have good images in the media.
That's
unless
true.
we acting like one, unless we acting like a monkey on the stick, you know.
Wait, Ashley, you had brought up something. Can I just brought up something that with the Roe v. Wade situation with the abortion thing, and I think because it keeps getting stated like he took away the rights, that I sometimes question my reality. But what he did was he put it in the state's hands. So technically, you have to know what state law is in regards to that. And so if your state doesn't do that, this is like I said, you know, one thing that I was on, move. If you want to have the ability to unalive a baby and the state that you're in says that you can't do it up until this certain amount of point, then just leave, right? And that's not to be ugly, but it's just your rights are not taken away It's just that the federal government is not forcing everybody to do the same thing. The state has the right to choose how they do that situation. And so I think what it is too is in the red states, there's a lot of people that feel some type of way about that, rightfully so, because in the red states they are going to say, okay, we're only going to do it till this certain amount of weeks. There's still stipulations within that have to do with women being I can't say that, or being inappropriately
took advantage of.
taken advantage of. So but because I think in the news they're just saying that the federal right to force it upon each state to do it a certain way, that's what all they're saying. They're not saying that it's the state's choice on how they maneuver that. And I had to look it up because I was like I feel like I'm losing my mind. Like, I feel like, is there something that was passed that said the states have to not do abortion? I mean, unaliving babies too, but it's not that. It's just nobody trusts the state that they're in. I think that they should just say that they don't trust their governors or their state or Senate and Congress. That's what you should say then, because that's whose responsibility it is. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. So let me just jump in real quick on that. So that one, they talk about Trump is trying to remove the Constitution. Actually, if anything, he's abiding by it, because states' rights is the 10th Amendment. So the states is basically removing it from the federal government, from it being federalized, and returning it back to the states and allowing the states or the people in the states to choose how they would like to go about that situation instead of broad brushing it to everybody. So I think that's more freedom, allowing the people to pick which way they would like to go, especially to your first question about it being a moral topic for people. So they get to address it within the community in which they live in.
Yeah. I think, will you finish, Jamie?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that is interesting that when it comes to talking about politics in the policies that these candidates have, for some reason, as I said before, people's religion leaves them. What I mean by that is that the Bible is very clear when it says, I knew you before you were even formed in your mother's womb. The science shows that once the sperm hits the egg, that life is created. I understand the position that people have and wanting to take on the godlike characteristic of choosing who has life and who doesn't. So let me help you understand where we are now in today's time. Because of Roe v. Wade, there have been, I don't even know the number, millions, if not, like, what is it? It's past 10 million. I have to look it up. It may be into the 20 millions of people have been terminated from this planet. The majority of the women that decide to end their pregnancy, 50% of them, it's their second time doing it. That's a lot. In the Black community, it's even more egregious. I was talking to this one lady today, and she said, well, and I said, I think it's, and it may be more than this, but it's like 1 million unalived situations a year. She's like, really, in the grand scheme, but that's not a lot, though, as far as it relates to how many people are born. It's like, what it? I was like, man, your calculations are, it is a small percentage, but I mean, you're talking about people ending people's life. But she said she ain't see life until, the baby got here. And I said, okay, so what do you consider pregnancy then? And she's like, well, those are just words. I said, okay, so really you are really just not there. Okay, my bad. 22 million since the 70s. Appreciate that loss. Right? That is insane. Right? And go ahead.
But see, that goes into place with this feminine stuff right there. That's why I say I hate all these little vocabulary words, because as a mom, and if you've been down that road, what is the number one scary point of pregnancy? when that baby not moving in their stomach.
Like,
That's
right.
when you feel like something is wrong. I remember I went to the hospital that first one. Hey, she ain't moved and poking my stomach, everything. Hey, I need you to, move. Let me know there's something going on. And that's why I say I hate this new generation is because we done blurred the line between reality and science fiction so much that we not living in reality. Like, I get it. Yeah, you shouldn't be doing it. But hey, if the situation called for it, hey, go do whatever you got to do. At the end of the day, your crossroad and Jesus and whoever else you pray to, that's gonna be between y'all. Y'all gonna fight that conversation out. You're gonna go to heaven or hell. That's on y'all. But at the same time, it's like people want to be so out of control, but in control at the same time. They not understanding what they're doing because I'm gonna say this, the ignorance that she just said. Do you know how many women go through complications of trying to get one of these little people here? Do you not understand the strict diets? Do you not know how many people have to be on bed rest to complete a pregnancy? And then, like, for somebody my age, getting close to that 40 mark, I'm considered a geritol pregnancy. And you're like, how? Because of my age range, the chances is slimming down because your girl finna be out the game, and what people do not understand is, like, if you really understood the people that actually want kids, the level of hell that they go through with the fertilization, all that, Levitra and all that, you wouldn't say something ignorant like that.
And also 1 in 3,
And
was it 1 in 4 or 1 in 3 women lose a child?
Okay.
Already.
And it's not even their fault. It's not even something they done. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say people don't understand about pregnancy in the woman body, because sometimes it's your body saying, hey, I ain't about to do this.
Yeah.
And it's not you mentally. It's just your body saying, you pregnant what? No, you're not. Not today, you're not. And I understand that some people be like, oh, but you're killing a person. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. See, this sensitivity ain't for me because I'm country. I'm for reality, not for your emotions and all that. If you take them away, okay, we're gonna take away and not add to the planet. That's my business. Because at the end of the day, are you gonna come help with this? Are you going to come out your house? And that's why I say people need to stop minding folks' bedrooms, stop minding people's household. Because at the end of the day, you don't know what's going on. Because sometimes I see some of these women get on the bus, y'all don't need no more children. I don't like all them children on my bus. You don't control them. They howling, screaming. Because I swear, I almost had to whoop somebody about that child. I'm just saying, because the child was, on the spectrum, and he has a certain routine, but y'all hollering at him while he trying to do his certain routine, and I'm gonna let that go, because that's why I take offense to is when people don't handle their kids appropriately in public. Right. That's all I got to say about that. I'm gonna let that go.
For sure, I think that, and so the reason why I like having these conversations is because I can talk to you all, and even if we disagree on something, we're gonna listen, right? We're gonna at least listen. The young lady was at least willing to listen. I can just hear that there was a godlessness that was there, right? And so I speak from the position of that I've seen and been a part of a miscarriage, and I've been a part of an abortion. And I've been on the side of the facts of what it does to a woman's body. I've also been aligned to know that this is a part of the devil's scheme, to know that 80% of the Planned Parenthoods are in low income neighborhoods, which is typically attributed. And I counted them. Like, it wasn't somebody said it. Like, I went to go look and say, where are the Planned Parenthoods? And then I went to a map and found out where they were. So this is not me hearing something. This is me doing really detailed research and seeing if my thought process was accurate. And so not only that, you got Margaret Sanger, who literally said that she was trying to take out Black people. Then you also have the disposition of I don't understand what these people been teaching in history for them not to know that Democrats were the ones that wanted slavery. Like, it's not hard to go find it. I don't understand. And then for people to believe that Harris is now transitioning, now she's black, and now that we have more information to show, shout out to Candace Owens, who some people won't listen to because they don't like her, which is fine. You cannot like somebody, but still go see what it is that they're saying. Is it true or not? Don't just dispel it because you don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Jesus allowed Judas to rock with him. You know what I'm saying? So and then double back. Y'all heard of a person named Alexander Hamilton? Just found this out today. I did go see the play. If you haven't seen it, it's a dope play, by the way. The one that was the best was in Dallas. Okay. Did y'all know how he was born? His dad had a side chick, basically. Right. And so we can only imagine that if the situation what we have today was back then, and Roe v. Wade would have been an opportunity, right? That there would be no Alexander Hamilton, who literally allowed the United States to come into existence for several different reasons, right? So you don't know who you are taking away from this planet. If we go to, I have close friends. Shout out to them. I won't mention their name because they don't be on social media like that. But they were an older couple, and the doctor told this one lady that she couldn't have a kid, right? And I want to say, I don't know the dynamics of it, but she ended up having a baby or getting pregnant, and the doctor was like, you know what, you need to end this pregnancy. She was like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, I don't rock like that. The kid is now.
Hold on, your sound cut out.
I think that's something. Did you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. So then you have that they were able to have a baby, and she's 31 years old now. So, and then you have Tim Tebow. If you know the story of Tim Tebow, his mother was sick, and they said for her to end her pregnancy, she said, I ain't doing that. I'm gonna go, or the child's gonna go naturally. And we have Tim Tebow, who's one of the all-time greatest college football players, which is not that big of a deal until you talk about his faith walk and how he carried himself among people and how he speaks out against unaliving people. Or you talk about the lady named Gianna who went to the Senate or Congress and talked about how the reason why she got her name was Gianna because it said that the Lord is gracious in Italian because she survived being unalived when she was in her mother's womb. And it was like, no, we're not going to let that happen. You know, so it's very interesting how people don't know this stuff, but at the same time, as y'all said, they would rather listen to the media. You know, like, you know, I'm going to go on a tangent again. The 34 counts, the felonies, the 34 felony counts. Y'all aware of this for Trump? Can y'all hear me? Are you aware of that, Jamie? The 34 counts?
Teflon Don. How many sticks?
Right? It was pretty outrageous in them even wanting to charge him for what it is that they charged him for. Right. And he's a felony. He's a felon as a result of a situation that was supposed to be handled by two individuals in real estate. It was him and the bank. And there was a situation where they came back and said that he overpriced his property, which is crazy because the bank has to okay that it's the same value in order for the transaction to even begin. So that's what he was charged for. How do I know? Because I went to go actually listen to the actual case and went to go read the documentation, which is what it is that the court has said that has occurred. However, the majority of people don't do this. They go ahead and say he's a felon. Well, He was a felon because he was convicted. But if you go see what the felony was for, it's not even close to what we would see a felony as, right? So then you transition, and then you have a person in Kamala who literally has had the opportunity. Did y'all know that? I think it was when she was running for the DA, but no, it was before DA, I think, something like that, where she didn't even have somebody to run against. That George Soros helped her get to the DA position. That shout out to Judge Joe Brown, who he knows because he was there. Okay, Judge Joe Brown was there on the scene, and these things were happening. So he's giving you a play-by-play of what he saw transpire from Kamala's position. Fast forward, here you have a lady that nobody wanted in 2016, especially when Tulsi Gabbard came on the scene and she was like, huh?
Oh, my bad. I thought I was on mute. I said she fired her up on that debate stage, boy. And that tell Tuck, my bad. Let me go back on mute like I was supposed to be.
Like I'm on my rant. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you have Tulsi Gabbard was a Democrat running for president, telling you all and me too about what Kamala did to people in her own state. And you people who are talking about she should be the next president of the United States did not want her in 2016. You all didn't even vote for her. Her own state didn't even want her. And she dropped out of the race before she even went to the primaries to even state her case, because Tulsi Gabbard had cooked her so bad that they made Tulsi Gabbard, they pretty much ostracized her because Kamala is in their pocket, or in their pockets, so to speak, or she's in their pockets. And this is things that you can literally see, right? And so you transition to now. She wasn't voted again. The Democrats, what people don't know is that the Democrats are allowed to choose whoever they want, regardless of who their people choose. So if, for example, there was a situation where a lot of people wanted Bernie Sanders, but because the Democrats didn't want Bernie Sanders, they made it to where they could get Biden in office. And Biden was like 5th at the time in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. No, 2020, sorry. He was like 5th in the running. All you got to do is go look and watch and see what happened.
But you know, people are not going to do that. That's why they can.
Right, but they'll tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. That's the problem.
Because that's foreign information. That's information that hasn't been heard. It hasn't been publicized. Nobody. That's why I was saying the lack of education. Nobody researched. Like I said, it was just certain things just don't sit right in my little ugly spirit. You know, it's got a whole bunch of holes in it, but some things just don't fit in the holes and to be sold up in there. It's just me. I just feel like Black folks need to stop doing the whole we march as one and start individually looking at things for themselves, because you have a phone that y'all don't use for directions. You can gladly speak to it and pull up any information. That's why I said earlier on the video today, how do we have the access to a bunch of knowledge and yet we're going backwards with the education?
Very good.
This is not towards any type of educational person, because I know y'all have an agenda, y'all have to follow it, the curriculum, all that. I get that. But I'm talking about we as people, as grown folks, as parents, aunties, godmamas, goddaddies. We ain't doing nothing with the information. We're not teaching these kids properly how to go get this information and apply it. We always talking about we didn't learn nothing about MX plus B and this here and all add up. Baby, it doesn't matter. You didn't pay attention anyway, because you ain't even looking at what you're supposed to be looking at. That's why they said keep your eye on your own paper. Now look at you, still struggling trying to get the paper and your eye ain't on it because you watching me spend money like, you know, I drop people off, not them bricks. I wish, because I be living a whole different lifestyle.
I'll snitch on you right now. Hey, who do I need? Hey, yeah, I'll snitch on you right now.
Please do. I need a vacation. You know, 3 hots in a cot. I'm ready for a vacation. fully paid.
You better be building something.
So as we and the only reason why I think, like, for me, like I said, I think people vote out of their fear and not their faith. Now, if you're talking to me and you say, well, I don't vote in the election, period, because I trust God. Like, that's what one of the guys said that I was watching. I get that. I can understand that to a premise. But then my thought went to, what do you say about the abolitionists? Because the abolitionists were Christians primarily, and they stood up to change the laws. So without the abolitionists, we would potentially probably still be slaves. Christians have done a lot for this country as it pertains to voting, as it pertains to helping out in the times of trouble and tribulation and things of that nature. My wife told me this. She said that this is something different about Trump. This just came to my mind, that he helped raise $80 million in the GoFundMe for was it hurricane? I want to say the hurricane in Miami, if I'm not mistaken, or was it in North Carolina? Are y'all familiar with this?
The most recent one?
Yes.
North Carolina.
North Carolina, $80 million, right? Where you have Kamala, I don't know what she did.
Absolutely nothing. What you mean?
Well, I'm just saying, for the people that keep saying that she is the next best thing, you know. And then this is what I noticed too, as it relates to Black people, that the Democrats went to go get all the Black celebrities that they could think of that's on the payroll to say, you need to vote for this person because she's a woman and she's Black. To the people that say, well, it's not because she's Black, it's because of the things she said she's going to do, the proposals that you were talking about, Jamie. The giving of money comes back on the people who actually are working.
That's a lot. Money is printed. It's printed and divided up and given out. That is not back on people. That is not what she said to do. That's not what she said. You would not sit here and bash her like that. She said she's going to give us this free money and we're not going to see any type of inflation for it. We are going to win this.
It's interesting because they're talking about Trump spent a whole bunch of money and caused the inflation. Then what do you think? No, I'm just saying, but let's go with the thought. Let's go with the thought process though, right? If you're saying that when Trump gave us money, it caused inflation, how would it be different if she's going to give us money?
Because she's Black, she don't know how to do that. Like, why would she do that? Why would she do that to us? We are people.
And then
she's going to help us out.
Mitchell, they didn't want to listen to Byron Mitchell. But if you watch him on Breakfast Club, you know, Charlemagne is known for calling people out if he sees the hypocrisy in something. Am I right? If it's
Byron Daniels?
Yeah, Byron. What did I say?
I think it's Mitchell. I think it's Daniels.
Daniels? I think it's.
I'm not even.
Yeah, one of them, right? But get the name right. Check it out. Okay. But he said that Kamala had the deciding vote in determining how the spending was going to be. And she voted in favor of where we are now, which was to transition us into inflation. And she had that information prior to her making the decision. So for people that are saying, well, there was nothing that she could do. Well, she's been, matter of fact, do y'all remember, like, they was like the first woman vice president that was able to break a tie or something like that. They made a big deal of it. Now it's nothing. Then you're talking about the border. Like, how is it that y'all don't see that the border is an issue?
It's not an issue. We welcome everybody. That's the problem. You guys do not want to work in some of these jobs, and you're mad because we're bringing people over to help us out and try to fix this raggedy economy. Like, come on here, guy. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this, actually. I don't like this one.
I know, right? Just
like
panderism. Just panderism. Just all over the place. Pick a side.
But it makes sense, though. But it makes sense.
I'm not saying it don't. You know, because
the trolling makes sense though, right? Like it makes sense to try to see the flip side of why somebody would, like for example, that's why I use the bus analogy. Like, why would you bring the person back that keep missing the stops?
Because it's gonna click. We're gonna get you there. You know, that's what I'm for. That's what the bus driver is for. Is for me to help you and try to remember that you're way back there in the back, tucked in the corner that I really can't see, that I possibly think somebody might be is there. But I'm going to help you get there. Make sure you get to your job interview on time. That's what I'm for, guys.
I'm on.
Hey, hold on. That is so accurate, though. That is so accurate. What percentage? Give me a percentage of them people.
I'm sorry. That was a bias.
No.
There's
a majority. Would you say there's a majority? Sorry,
to be honest, it's about 25%. They expect us to be at the close to the middle, to the beginning of the route, and remember that they need to go downtown, to downtown, but past downtown, to the left, over there to the corner store that's got the job opportunity in the back of the corner store over there with LaMitchell and them hanging.
Did you say the job?
Yeah, because they really think that every bus driver know addresses. And I tell them real quick, hey, I don't know address. I need you to read what your phone says. Don't put your phone in my face because I'm right here and this is my moving canvas. I need you not in here because the camera's going to go off and I'm going to have to explain why you all up in here with your phone. And that's what I'm not going to do. I'm just saying. But that's what the unrealistic but realistic expectation is when you tell me 1977 dropped me off in front of here and I don't have to walk no further, you expect me to know exactly where that's at. And I do apologize. I've only been a Houstonian for the past 16 years and I still get lost. So with that being said, I do apologize for the inconvenience that this caused anybody that rides the bus and feel like the bus driver is inadequate to do their job. But baby, you got a phone and it's fully charged and we got Wi-Fi. Boom.
That's why you be, man, you get to see these people real time. Jamie, we gonna close out with you. What's your final thoughts on tonight?
She ain't even here. She done checked out. She over there bugging for
Get that chin off your chest.
Did you hear what she said?
I didn't check out. I was really waiting for Sandra to respond to my question. And so I was just trying to see, like, because the way she worded it is like she did it already. And so I was trying to understand why would we take a proposal as a actual it was done.
Help first-time homeowner, help new business, help affordable medical insurance. The rich pay higher taxes, increase minimum wages. President for all the people.
That's the lie they've been selling, baby. Let's leave that lie alone. That's the lie they've been selling for years. That's the lie.
I was gonna say, I think Obama was running on the same.
Like I said, that's the same lie. That's the same lie selling
in the exact same order.
Let me tell you something. Only way we gonna get better, this is not coming at you any kind of way, is that we have to stop voting for what they say and for what they actually do. Because if you, again, no disrespect to Miss Harris, she's been in there and she's been quiet. She's like me when I show up. I just show up out of nowhere because you ain't seen me in a while. That's exactly how I felt about her whole campaign. She out eating collard greens at a black restaurant. Baby, where you been?
I the collard greens in the tub, though. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care who freezes you got them up.
She made them in the tub, though.
That's a tub. Oh, I got a tub downstairs. Hey, y'all want to come over and eat? Y'all know I'm always cooking something. Hey, baby, I cook.
Yeah, but it would not be a good thing, right? I was trying to transit. I was trying to say, like, as a real estate investor and also understanding money, if they give $25,000, that would just mean that the house is $25,000 more. That's what that means. And you're not, and then not only that, check this out. I don't know if y'all knew this, people that are watching, even on the replay, that what is it called? It's a you heard of capital gains. Capital gains is where if you sell the house and you get a profit and you spend that money and you don't replace it into real estate, then there's a tax because you're using it as an income. So you'll be taxed on that. Whereas there's something called an unrealized gain. Have y'all heard about this? Okay.
Property tax.
Educators, now come on with it.
The unrealized gain is where, let's say that it's the equity in your house,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody really knows what that is
Right.
until you're ready and go get it appraised or whatnot. Well, she's proposing what you finna say? Oh yeah, she's proposing to tax unrealized gains. So you have equity in your house, and she's talking about taxing that. I don't think people are aware of that. The next thing is she's talking about. I have my students. I teach social studies now, and I'm telling my students to fact check everything I say. Okay, and when she said that she wants to tax people more that make $400,000 a year, do y'all know what that percentage is? I had my students go look it up. Do y'all know the percentage of people that make $400,000 a year or more?
It's only like 20 to less than 40%. No, less than 35%. Because everybody ain't up there.
It's about 3% of people.
Say it again.
It's about 3% of people.
Pause right there. For all you helpers out here talking about y'all want a man to make $100,000 a year, baby, the chances are slim. That lets you know if there's only 3% in 400,000, what y'all think is 100,000? Baby, date you a regular dude and calm down and put your income together to get 100,000. Anyway, go on. Continue to educate us.
For sure. And so the other thing is, if she's taxing so that means that the 25,000 that she gave you, right, is eventually going to be taxed because property always rises, right? The property value always rises in a positive way most times, even if you bought in a bad neighborhood, so to speak. And so the 25,000 would eventually be taxed. So you actually are not getting what it is that she's saying that you're getting. And then if you were to tax, I put it to my kids like this. I said, they was like, well, Elon Musk didn't pay taxes. I said, okay, Elon Musk, let's say he didn't pay taxes. Cool. Let's see how much he's contributed to the world, though. I said, okay. And like I told you, I tell my kids to fact check me all the time. I said, y'all know who he is. I said, okay, how many employees does he have? They went to go check it. Anybody know? 110,000. Okay. Has 110,000 employees. I said, okay, on average, the amount of money that people make in America is somewhere around $45,000 a year. Okay. And I said, go see how much money that is that he's paying out of his pocket. That's somewhere around $4 billion. Another student took it up another level and went to go look and see what do Elon Musk employees on average make? And they make around $100,000 a year on average, Elon Musk workers. And so they was like, their light bulb went like, oh, so it's more than $4 billion that he even contributes to this United States. I said, absolutely. And they was like, what? One kid came to me, he's like, Dr. Glenn, I learned so much today. Because the lie has been, let's tax the rich and the wealthy, as if that makes any sense. All it is that it's a talking point. When you tax the people that give you money, who was it? Ronald Reagan already talked about this in his statement, that when you tax the people that can roll the money back to you, then you're the person that's going to be paying what it is that they're increased. Why do you think? Well, they don't think. I apologize. Forgive me if it's disrespectful.
Very disrespectful. You misspoke there.
Okay. So people do not use cognitive dissonance. Why do prices increase? They increase because of inflation, but they also increase to cover the cost of whatever the business has to incur, whether that's time, resources, employees, benefits, XYZ. You're talking about increasing the minimum wage. All of these things are economics. Check out Dr. Soul. He talks about this as well. So this is my soapbox because and I'm a teacher and an educator. And for people to talk to me as if they have educated themselves, as opposed to giving me a talking point that somebody else has done, that's not how I roll. If I don't know about it, what I do, Dwayne, like I'm gonna just listen.
Down. You don't know nothing.
That's my say for tonight. And I think that you should operate in faith. That's myself included. Like I said, I was going to take a bow out of this particular election, but I felt that as it relates to saying, okay, what it is that I'm talking about, I want marriages to be well. And I also want my children to do better in life as well. I hate that saying that my sons have to enlist just because they're men, right? I hate the idea of that. So it's like, okay, well, the least that I can do is vote in the way that I believe. And as it relates to my faith is saying, you know what, I don't see anything that is of Christ as it relates to the democratic process right now. Giving money to people is not in the way that they want to give it is not a Christ-like perspective. Many organizations and philanthropic people give just out of their abundance, and I think that's how it should be, not a mandate. So that's my take. Jamie, what you guys? Your last words? What you got?
Boycott the election. I'm sorry. Okay, no, for real.
You
know,
offer.
Just the kid
I'm
to
sorry.
be barefoot in the kitchen.
I want to do it so bad. I just want everybody on one accord, just so bad. I just want us just not to show up so bad. It would be so powerful. But if anything, the taxing us or removing taxes doesn't make sense when they could just take pay cuts. So why don't I've never seen Congress, Senate, I've never seen the president say we'll take a pay cut and we'll put the money that you guys pay us with your taxes that really are illegal, and we'll put it back into the communities, because we already have other income sources that we are making money off of before we ran for the official position or whatever. So I would just say, maybe they could just take some pay cuts. Maybe that could be on the table one election year, and we'll see how that goes. But other than that, I have nothing to say. I mean, I'm kind of over it. Oh, wait. I do got this one last thing to say. You said, what was a moral dilemma? What moral dilemma do you think splits most people?
Yeah.
And I like to say, frats and sorors, and because if you remember, and I know, and I don't even care how anybody feels about that, but I've seen people pick their soror or frat over their religious belief, right? And so if we remember correctly, it was pearls and what was it? Tucks and pearls, and that was the AKA movement, and that really drove her in as vice president when she ran. And so to me, it's like they're the gatekeepers. One, because they're educated, they do vote like the rich Caucasians do. And so, I know now they're trying to cater to us, I guess, or not us, but the lower level. I'm trying to say it nicely. The lower level Blacks that don't necessarily vote as much or whatever, by bringing in Cardi B and Glorilla and all of that type of stuff. But our frats and our sorors are a more dilemma when it comes to. So I just wanted to add that too. I was sitting here thinking about that probably the whole time, like, why we don't say them, because they are technical. Why not? You know what I mean? But that's nothing against them. It's just, they utilize the power that they have been given in more than one area, though. So anyways, all right, that's it. I'm done.
That's what's up. Where can they find you?
At home, minding my business. No, at I'm sorry, y'all. On YouTube at Jamie Radius Morehead 7.
I'm getting all of these clips. I'm probably trying to post all of them for sure. And I know Ash gonna be on most of them. What you got, Dwayne? What you got? Last words, or you want to say where they can find you? Find him at the polls.
I'm not boycotting. As a matter of fact, let me kick my feet up a little bit. Yeah. Even with the brush them over real quick like that.
That is insane.
Okay, all right. Okay, so now that we got that out the way,
My
I might be a little
dude,
biased.
that's crazy.
I might be a little biased, maybe just a little bit, but he gonna convince me that he's not what they said he was. Okay, they said he was for the rich and all that, but I done compiled me a little list here. We were talking about taxes. He said he want to do something about taxes on overtime. And I know once you get past a certain tax bracket, you get into salary. So for the folks that ain't there and they do work overtime, he talking about removing the tax from that. And I don't know if you've ever worked a whole lot of hours. You're like, man, that chick gonna be fat. And then your calculations don't match their calculations. Their calculation, the house usually wins. Anyways, I digress. Next, tips. He said no tax on tips. Man, I ain't never wanted to be a server, but for the people that do and are, how many people are actually paying in cash now, right? Cash is like, hey, take and go. You swipe your card and you think you right, they taxing that. Anyways, Social Security. He talking about removing. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to it not being taxed either. That's nice. Income tax. Oh boy, was talking about getting rid of income tax. Man, now that's whenever he found him a friend. That's when he found him. He got him a vote right there. Removing income tax. Man, let me keep going. Caregiver tax. I don't know if any of y'all have parents that have aged and then you end up having to take care of them. Man, not being taxed. Man, get a tax break for that. Anyways, that's why. But then I also want to say this to Jamie's comment about the celebrities and stuff. There was a dude one back in the days, Malcolm, one of the alphabets, Malcolm X. There we go. He said it's crazy how in the Black community, how their heroes are celebrities and entertainers. And he said, you look at the white community, their celebrities or their heroes aren't the trumpet player. It's not a singer. It's like a doctor, a physician, someone in doing something real big. Now I'm just saying, the Black community is real tied up on entertaining. So Malcolm X was pointing that out. So I find it real interesting that Donald Trump could pack a stadium and he don't need no guitar. He don't need no backup singers. And he could pack a stadium. And the reason is it's about ideas. It's really about what Obama tried to do with hope and change. And Trump coming through and doing it. My 2 cents. I digress.
Ooh, thank you. Ash on you.
Where your socks at? Where the Trump?
I'm sorry. I'm only gonna do the Red Riding View, and then I choose violence because this is not a Texan jersey; it's a Patriots jersey. So let's let you know I'm out of pocket, okay? So that let you know how I choose. I look good though. It look good. But anyway, that's not what we talking about. We talking about these politicians. I'm gonna tell you like this. This is what I got to say, and I'm gonna leave it like this. Y'all vote how y'all want to vote. If y'all want that woman in there, y'all put that woman in there. Y'all want that man in there, put him in there. Because at the end of the day, when you're the one at the nursing home not getting what you need because these young people don't want to work because they underpaid. Remember, you chose violence. It's not the violence that you chose. It's the type of violence with repercussions because everybody don't want the repercussions after they done chose the violence. Nobody want to do the time for the crime that they chose. So with that being said, choose wisely because at the end of the day, you forget who else got to live here once we gone. That's why I said we're not looking at our children. And then you still got some of us that's older having young kids. That's what I really don't understand. Some of us is older, more planted, and, grounded, got your finances together, but you're not understanding. Your 3-year-old, your 5-year-old still have to deal with these people and what these choices these people make. Because, hey, I'm going to tell you like this. I'm ready for the pledge. I got a list going. You know what I mean? Hey, you want to choose violence? This is what we got to do. This is what we got to do to survive. I'm getting the insurance and everything. I'm ready with the shotgun out the window, trying to keep mine safe, you know. But at the same time, y'all don't want that. Y'all make fun of movies like that, and you talk bad about Trump. You talk bad about everybody. But then when you choose wrong, it's, oh my God, we're victims. No, 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 no. You're not a victim. You just being grown, taking a little accountability. You don't know what that look like no more. It's okay. It's all right, baby. Accountability. It's ugly. It's an ugly thing. But you know, y'all have a good night. Y'all can find me on Instagram. I'll probably be going off again tomorrow about the educational system because I'm still trying to figure out how the kids out for an election day. Why don't y'all make these kids? Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Why can't y'all give teachers the actual voting time when y'all set up voting polls in the school? My bad. I don't know what kind of violence I'm choosing. I'm just hitting every nail that I see. You know how
Teachers have to be in school though. Like they have us
hey,
have in
no,
service.
no. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, y'all can do a little rotation schedule, take a little break. You know, I don't know how long you need or how long have you already made your choices. Are you somebody like me that's still debating and waiting? And you know, I'm just saying, it just I don't think we understand how we make not being accountable so hard to do. We make it so that these kids understand that we don't have to be accountable and y'all can just slide whatever you want in and then we can be accountable. I'm not trying to live in that world. I'm moving to Russia or somewhere. Paris, France, something. I got a passport. Go bus over there or something. Look at y'all.
I so appreciate you when you be on. You be definitely covering all angles and corners for sure.
We got to, because the thing is, you know, not to cut you off, even though I do it a lot, I have to make sure, you know,
Yeah.
I do my regular thing.
I never understood how cutting somebody off was an accident.
It's always planned. It's just that I want people like me to understand that, hey, you have somebody that's on your side and somebody that feel like you. It's okay to feel that way. You don't have to march to the same band. Sometimes we need to be over there with the twirlers. Sometimes we need to take front stage and just march. Sometimes you got to be out of tune a little bit until the song in your heart is actually what you hear, because a lot of us are scared to listen to that song that's in our heart because it doesn't sound like the song that everybody else is listening to. You know, I'm done now. Y'all can find me on IG tomorrow. I probably could because lately I've been on it. I'm going to be 300 pounds by the next show.
Well, once again, appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Shout out to Prototype, who was kind of tired, so he had to take a day off, which is understandable. And Lost, hopefully, praying for you. Well, no, we're not hopefully. We're praying for you that you get well. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you for being in the chat and rocking with us. My thoughts are pretty much the same as I've been saying throughout the show. I think you need to do a better job of getting informed, not from memes, not from TikTok videos, but going and literally reading the laws of what it is that is going on, reading the backstory of things. You know, Kamala is like, she is an evil person, and a lot of the Democrats are. And I saw that firsthand when I went to go read the Born Alive Act. The Born Alive Act is where if the baby is on the unalive table, if you will, in the clinic and survives, then the Republicans wanted that baby to have the same rights as a living person, and the Democrats, including Kamala, when she was in Senate, voted against it to say that that baby should still be taken out. That right there is insane and straight from the pit of hell. And so no matter what money she's trying to give, even if it was legit, that right there for me was enough to see the evilness that resides in her and her party. And so that's why I choose not to vote for her. And as it relates to Trump, I can see where he's trying to do something beneficial for the country, and he did. Like, it's not like he was trying. He literally did a better job for the economy, and now he has even better plans than the one that he had before. And so that's what I say is the better choice in my estimation. And as it relates to being afraid. Well, you're saying that you're afraid if Trump comes into office, democracy will end. Well, that's not possible. The Constitution is a living document as it relates to what can and can't go on. And then to the people that said, well, she didn't have any control. Well, if you just Google, you can see that the House was and the Senate was ran by the Democrats. So they could have done any and everything that they wanted to get done. So for them to make you believe that they had no power, man, that's a genius marketing in my estimation. So that's my take. We'll be back next week talking about marriage and relationships or talking about what happened in the election, But nevertheless, whatever it is, the goal is for us to get better, to get educated, and be better people as a result of what it is that we read. And for me, my reading is in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate y'all. Until next time, we out here. Deuces.
The boy is dangerous.
Bad feeling about this.
You don't seem to understand something.
The thing that I like most about being a dad is that I see that I'm about to impact the world.